Hello, welcome to video notes for lesson 3-9, and this lesson is about complex exponent problems. This begins on page 43 in your notes packet, and our learning target for this lesson, I can use the properties of exponents, we've been doing that a lot, to simplify complex exponent problems. Now, I bet many of you, when you hear that word complex, think, oh, that means it's hard. It's not hard. It might be challenging, but with anything, like with anything, when you practice these, you get better at them. So that's what we're going to do. I am going to walk you through how to solve all these problems on page 43. Maybe I'll let you try a couple on your own, we'll see. And then you should be able to handle some of these a little better. And there's another page of practice that comes after this that obviously if you did, or when you do that, you will become even stronger. Okay? So, let me go ahead and move the screen up so we can see the whole thing. How do you like your exponents? So we have mild, medium, and hot. I think that kind of describes the level of each of the problems. So mild would be not so difficult. Medium will be a little more challenging, and then hot, I guess, is supposed to be really challenging. But I think, like I said, once you have a little practice, you'll see these are not that bad. Okay, so the first problem, 14x to the 9th over 2x to the 5th. So, when you have something like this, I like to pull these apart and turn them into their own fractions or situations that go together. 14 and 2, the coefficients become 14 over 2 times, now x to the 9th over x to the 5th. Instead of writing that as a well, you know what, I might as well, x to the 9th over x to the 5th. Now what that really means is, so 14 over 2 is 7, and x to the 9th over x to the 5th is x to the 9 minus 5. And we have one more step to simplify this. 9 minus 5 is 4, so I get 7x to the 4th power. There's your first answer. Okay, the next problem in the mild category, x to the 8th times x to the negative 4. When we multiply and they have the same base, we add the exponents. So, I've got x to the 8 plus negative 4. Now be careful. Adding a negative means you are subtracting. So that's the same as 8 minus 4. So really it's x to the 8 minus 4, which is x to the 4th power. What is the product of negative 9x squared and negative 8x to the 7th? Now product means multiply, so I'm going to multiply these. Now I'm going to write the problem as I would normally first, and then I'll break it apart. So I've got negative 9x squared, and I'll put it in parentheses so I can show my multiplication, times negative 8x to the 7th. Now, we are going to, again, break this up a little bit, and we have our coefficients multiplying by each other. Just like up here, we had our coefficients being divided by each other. And then our variable terms, the exponent terms, are going to multiply by each other as well. So I have, again, I'll use parentheses, negative 9 times negative 8 times x squared times x to the 7th. So, multiply your two numbers, negative 9 times negative 8, positive 72. X squared times x to the 7th means x to the 2 plus 7 power, and one more step, 72, x to the 9th. Alright, so we just completed the mild section. Let's move on to the medium section. Okay, so the first problem, again, I have a situation here where I could kind of break this up into two separate fractions. We've got x to the 7th over x to the 9th times y cubed over y squared. So really what this is x to the 7 minus 9 times y to the 3 minus 2. Well, 7 minus 9 is negative 2, so x to the negative 2 power times y to the first, or just y. Now we don't like our negative exponents, so this is really like 1 over x squared times y, and we can take it one step further and do y over x squared. I would accept either of these answers, but the best answer is y over x squared. Okay, the next one. You know what? I think I'm going to help you set this one up, and then I'll let you finish this one. So, again, put your coefficients together, put your variable exponent terms together, and it looks like this. 5 times negative 9 times x squared, oops, not x squared, mistake, too late, I caught it, x to the 6th times x cubed. Alright, so if you can correctly combine these and get the correct answer, or at least try it, and any of the others that I'm going to star, then I will give you a point on your scoreboard. What is the product, again we're doing multiplication, of x to the 4th y and x to the 6th y to the 10th? Alright, so let's write it out so we can see it first. X to the 4th y, x to the 6th y to the 10th. Put the like stuff together because they have the common bases. So really it's going to be x to the 4th, x to the 6th, y times y to the 10th. I'll be impressed. You know what? Here's another one I'm going to have you do on your own. I'll be impressed if anybody can get this. It's not really that hard, but there is something kind of sneaky about it. Usually I tell you what to do, but I'm going to leave it and see if you can figure it out. Alright, let's go to the hot column. That's the next column. Again, we have a fraction. It makes sense to kind of split things up and put them where they go. So I really have 25 over 5 times x to the 7th over x to the 4th times y to the 10th over y squared. 25 over 5 is 5. X to the 7th over x to the 4th is x to the 7 minus 4. Y to the 10th y squared times y to the 10 minus 2. So now put these all together. 5x cubed y to the 8th. Pretty easy problem. The next one. This one might be a bit of a challenge. So be careful because I think most people might try to divide first here, but really, first we need to multiply these together. So, multiply your coefficients, then multiply your exponent terms with the same base. So 3 times 4 is 12, x to the 3rd times x to the 8th is x to the 11th over 6x to the 4th. I'm going to let you try to finish this. I'll draw a line in between here. So here's another starred problem. And see if you can finish this problem. I will tell you, you should end up with a nice answer. So if you don't for some reason, then you might have done something wrong. Okay, the last one. What is the product of x y to the 4th times 5x to the 6th plus, or 5x to the 6th y plus x y squared? Alright, so you are going to be distributing this to both of these. Now, these are not like terms, so you will not be adding anything together. When you're done, your final answer should be 2 terms with an addition symbol in between. and we're going to do it together anyway, so it doesn't matter. So x times 5x to the 6th, and then y to the 4th times y, plus x times x, and y to the 4th times y squared. Now, if you're wondering where I got all that from, the x here is the x that I'm multiplying everything by, and then the y to the 4th is right there. So it's like doing the distributive property. So x times 5x to the 6th, x to the 1st, 5x to the 6th, gives me 5x to the 7th, add your exponents. Y to the 4th times y is y to the 5th, plus x squared, that's x times x. So let me put brownie pans under everything that goes together. And then y to the 4th times y squared is y to the 6th. There's your final answer. This is pretty complicated, so we will be practicing that more. Okay, so you have 3 problems to try on your own. It's okay if you get them wrong, but if you try them, I will give you a point. Maybe I'll even give you another point for anybody that gets all 3 of them correct. Good luck. We'll see you in math.